All right, and they're off. All right, so right away in the intro stage, there's plenty of mashing. The idea is just to hold right as much as you can. And then obviously in the 2B mini bosses we're going to be turning around, but for the majority it's just holding right and mashing through everything. I didn't see what Nero got first time, but Lawso gets a machine gun, so he's going to be okay either way. Passive. Which it turns out it is, so thankfully for him, he's not going to have to take a unfortunate intro death here. So Lawso's at the perfect amount of health. Just to lose fight at the end of this stage with Vile. Nero still has to take a bit of damage. I'm wondering if he's going to go for task cards here. He definitely is. Oh, saves time as well. On top of the fact that he has to take a few damage boosts. Nero gets a pretty good ship placement, so depending on how Vile's going to act here, he could come out of the intro with a pretty decent split. D8 grab for Nero. And looking at about a 205 for Lawso. Alright, and first things first for this category, and basically any category for Mega Man X stage, because we're going to get the dash boots. And here at the beginning, where we don't have the boots, there's a couple things we can do to speed it up. There's some slopes, some extra speed, and if we jump out of them, we get a little bit of extra height as well. First two. And there's a few more coming up this section here that you can turn around on. And so a few frames at most. Some runners like to go for them, some runners opt out, but it's a huge difference for sure. So once we get the dash boots, this is basically where the run properly begins, so to speak. Nero gets a nice no-stop hallway there. Blast through all those enemies. The flamingo and the little blue and purple helicopters there, but Nero does it nicely. Here too with the snowball section, it can be kind of tough to without stopping too much or trying to turn around or anything like that. Nero had for his door time, but Lawso was looking at 429. And coming into this fight, Penguin takes 3 damage from full charge shots, and then 2 from the first level and dash lemons. Of course, from just the standing lemons. So it'd be kind of tricky to optimize this fight. There's a few CFO things we can do. really it's just about reacting to Penguin's moves as best you can, and Lawso taking an unfortunate death there. Penguin actually does quite a bit of contact damage, so you really have to be careful of that. Alright, Lawso having a pretty good fight here this time around. Nero onto the Coanger stage. Alright, nice Lawso through. We're doing the turtle skip. The idea is just to get through that turtle section without having to wait for the 2 shots from the turtles. You can kind of snake your way through that third one there and then take a damage boost on the ladder to jump out. And then coming up to the outside tower section. Yatters as you climb up this section. And this is kind of like our first instance of using get the ricochet inside enemies, which can do a ton of damage and actually one-shot, as you saw on that final climb. Lawso on the elevator, the only auto stroller game, thankfully. So if you can get Coanger in that dance at the start of the fight, there's really no luck involved. The second phase where he starts teleporting around the room, and you saw Nero go for another strat, which is shooting the lemon away from Coanger, using that to get another charge ready. Now Lawso into the Coanger fight. So even with that Penguin death, he's really just a Maverick fight away. And with this being any percent, there's a lot of things that could happen. Venture to guess that Nero probably won't take any safety strats. He might grab one heart. Lawso, on the other hand, I believe will probably be taking a few safeties. I curse anybody, but with that being said, Nero is playing it a lot more risky. And as long as Lawso, you know, as long as Lawso just plays it safe, you should be good. Making it through Chameleon stage, pretty easy. I wasn't quite paying attention to his cave, so I don't know if he got bonked by one of those rocks, probably. Not much to say about the Chameleon fight, though. Left and right until he goes down, basically. Now we see Lawso here, the mini-boss and Chameleon stage to get the armor upgrade. The fight itself and then getting the capsule can last a while. I can't remember exactly. It's around 45 seconds, though, depending on how well you do the fight. But that 45 seconds can really help out if the final fight is something you feel shaky on. and taking a few extra bonks. Final Sigma fight as opposed to dying is, you know, definitely Alright, Nero's just about done with the Eagle stage. Also going through the swamp here. I mean, you're probably going to see a variety of different approaches to this swamp. The idea is to keep dashing and keep shooting to get enemies out of your way. See how many dives we're going to be getting from Nero. He's got 2, 3, 4. 5's not too bad. And Nero's going to go straight to Mandrill. After Lawso finishes up Eagle, he might also go to Mandrill as well and stay the same route, but he might also do Mammoth early. We'll just have to wait and see. Which really comes in handy. With also being able to shoot the ice ricochets inside enemies when you're close, as they come on screen, you can do the same thing as well. That with the blue guys at the beginning of this level. And Thunder Slimer, RNG, and the any percent version of this fight. A pretty good pattern. As long as he comes down right away, it's alright, we got Lawso going for on top of the sub-tank being a nice safety for the final fight. It also, well, he got a little bit of a weird pattern there. Okay, he's good. I'm not sure if he hesitated beforehand, but usually once you come out of that sub-tank, the platforms are pretty much on a set pattern, and it makes it pretty easy to maneuver them. Looks like Nero just missed a dash input or something, but this fight's usually pretty simple as well. Weakness on Mandrill. As you can see, it doesn't freeze, but as he gets unfrozen as well, you can shoot another shot. It looks like Nero's doing Mammoth after Mandrill, which is kind of interesting. But it's just, I guess just to mention, pretty much place Mammoth anywhere in the run that you would like, and it's just based on preference. Since you already have the Storm Tornado from Eagle, that's really all you need. And the Buster upgrade to get, or not the Buster upgrade, but just the Buster to get through this stage. Alright, let's see how Thunder Slimer goes for Lawso here. Oh, boomerangs. Had a couple probably unintended weapon swaps there. Sing as well. During the fights. C-Sting and Boomerang as long as Thunder Slimer comes on the floor there. And getting a tornado in or two is usually a good idea. So maybe wanted to go for the Paul Heart there. Was pretty short of it, and then just decided he's going to move on, I suppose. Outside, he took care of Flame Mammoth. Pretty easy peasy. Straightforward fight. Stage. Cards. I'm also having a pretty good fight. The Armadillo stage is kind of a breather. Flame Mammoth stage. Really the big thing about Armadillo stage is there's some lag reduction that you have to do. There's some bats on the ceiling that can cause a bit of lag. And then coming up here, there's some birds that usually spawn. As long as you're just standing on the cart, jumping off the cart to skip those spawn triggers, birds cause a ton of lag. So definitely don't want to see any of those. It's like Lawso wanted to go for the booty. So unfortunately. Just now getting the spark on Dillo. Usually with this game, you think of Eagle and Penguin and Octopus as being like the big luck factors around, but sometimes we forget Armadillo can also kind of be a jerk at times. And right at the start of the fight, we're on, so we kind of just have to wait for him to come out to get the first spark in. Onto his last Maverick, Octopus. This stage is pretty mini boss heavy. We've got 2 subs here. And since we have Sea Sting, which does a ton of damage on these subs, they go down pretty quick. And then directly after that, we have us that we can take out pretty quick as well with the Storm Tornado. And as well doing a little bit of lag reduction by jumping up there on the platform there as that mini boss spawns. Don't think Lawso's done Flame Mammoth yet. So he's still got to get through that after this stage as well. Looks like Nero's going to cut off the arms of Octopus. Little interesting secret, but not so secret feature to this boss. You can cut off his tentacles with the boomerang. And he's kind of just being able to shoot those missiles. Can't do any of his little fish missiles or the wash spin cycles. G in that sense. But the boomerangs don't do very much damage from the start of the fight. There. Looks like Lawso is going to be doing the same thing here. Nero getting a very clean leap of faith there. And he's on to the Vile cutscene skip. Or usually there's a cutscene between Vile and Zero. But since we gapped the ladder and then jumped to the left wall to the door without touching the ground, we actually skipped that cutscene, and it kind of mashes that cutscene as well as this cutscene together. So yep, Lawso's on Mammoth. Action. Interesting approach to it. I like that. That was cool. So the Vile fight, he has super short iframes, rolling shield, so usually it's pretty quick. Danger in that fight is Vile does a ton of contact damage, and if you don't collect any safety hearts, 2 contact hits will be death. That's why Nero grabbed the extra heart in Armadillo. It's a pretty good safety to go for in a race setting because it doesn't lose that much time, and for in case the Vile fight goes awry. And also in the Mammoth fight, only key here is to make sure you get those double hits in. Nero getting Quanger into a dance. Quanger's got barely any room to move there. Alright, and Lawso is going to be onto the fortress stages. So at this point we've got Nero coming into the boss of Sigma 1 and Lawso just about to start Sigma 1. Alright, Nero having a pretty good fight so far. Being able to read Spider's movement here. And as the fight goes on, Spider gets faster and faster. Some less time to react to his pattern, but Nero, problem. And also going into the skip. Alright, so Nero is going into the Penguin fight. Sigma 2 is basically just... for the most part, it's all luck. So we've got Penguin, and then Eagle, and Rangda Bangda, which are all pretty big RNG bosses. Penguin. Lawso, meanwhile, having a pretty good fight on Vile. Lawso making his way up to Kawanger fight as Nero's coming into Eagle. Like 5 dives, something like that. in his first fight, so let's see how this goes for him. Not going up to dives yet. So looks like we're going to see 0. 0 for Nero. Also playing it a bit safe on the Quanger fight, just kind of staying on the ceiling there. Or not the ceiling, just staying on the wall there. But since we have the weakness now for the Quanger fight, we can get a bit more damage on him since we had to use Buster in the first go around. So Nero's going to start out this fight with Ice. Has 10 health. Using C-Sting, we do 3 damage each, but we're still going to have 1 die just using C-Sting. To the left wall there is just a good way to get that first hit in as quick as you can. Fight on Rangda. Yeah, I'm also having a pretty good fight on both Spider here so far. Interesting because Spider is a boss that kind of like moves around a lot and it's a little bit hard to predict, especially if you're somebody who hasn't played this game much. And it's interesting that they made Ice Sled his weakness, so you really have to and know exactly where the Spider is going to come down to land those hits. And meanwhile, Nero gets the Armadillo skip pretty easy peasy. Action from Lawso there. I'm not sure he meant to do that. Caused a little bit of lag, but ooh, Nero taking an unfortunate hit there. It's real important in the Sigma 3 stage to try and not take as much damage as you possibly can. Because while most of the bosses are pretty straightforward, we still have to fight Octopus and D-Rex. A little bit sketchy if you're low on health for those fights. But let's see, Nero cutting off the arms again. The rest of this fight should be pretty easy. Oh boy, and oh no. Kind of worried about that. So those missiles still do 2 damage each. I forget what the contact damage is, but it's more than the 2. Yeah, kind of have to look out for that as well. Looks like he's just going to go straight for Rolling Shield this time around. Nice dodge there, too, right before he goes into the swirly, though. Little fish missiles. Double green eye on Lawso's side. That's one pattern you definitely don't want to see. So I mentioned, obviously, with Penguin, we've got the slides, and Eagle, we've got the dives. With Rangda, it's just... Alright, and he's getting a ton of them right now. Oh, man. But there you go. Rangda is down. The green eye is just one and then goes away, whereas the blue and red usually stay on screen a bit longer, so you can get more hits in. See Lawso coming up to the armadillo skip here. Oh. Nero on the D-Rex fight. And then do the rest of Boomerang. Since all the bosses have 32 damage, sometimes we like to start with Lawso. Saying hi to Armadillo for a second there. Damage to get it down to 30, and then whatever the weakness is. Yeah, Armadillo's seen better days. That's for sure, after you skip them. Nero doing some real close call dodges there. Doesn't take any damage on the dogfight. And that's going to set him up for the final fight pretty well. Since this Jedi fight's pretty straightforward, some sort of movement error happens, or you miss a dash or something, I don't know. About it, when you take a bonk here, that can be a problem, but that doesn't usually happen. With Spark being his weakness, it helps out a lot since he's jumping back and forth. We can shoot the sparks on the wall and get hits as he's coming up and down. Also, some pretty sick dodges on those missiles for a second there. Having a pretty safe fight so far. Going for the right wall. Oh, okay, never mind. I thought he was going for the right wall for a second there. But, just staying on the edge, because as long as you're right on the edge with your toe, the lightning won't hit you while you're on the platform. G253, I think, is what I saw. So GG to Nero taking match 1. Looks like Lawso is gonna cut off the trunks. Not so secret. Little feature to somehow still able to shoot out his flame though. I can't aim it anymore since he doesn't have the trunk, but I don't know. Right, Lawso into the D-Rex fight. Shots in. Is he out of Boomerang? Did I not notice? Or is he just going Buster? He died anywhere to like run out of Boomerang. Oh man. Oh, risky. Oh, he finally gets the hit on there. Oh, I see. Yeah, I had no idea Mammoth. It came from a Buster. Just figured if he doesn't have a trunk anymore, just shoot all over the place or something. So Lawso, I don't think used his sub-tank run anywhere. So he has the armor, the 2 hearts. I believe it's 2. I can't remember if he got a 3rd, but he's got that and the full sub-tank. So he should be having a clean dogfight too really well. Ooh, that ricochet too off the wall. Double. See Lawso just missing a couple hits here and there. The only thing tricky about his come down from the is you kind of have to place a shot a little bit late because Jedi Sigma will still be in iframes for a little while longer as he comes down. So Lawso switching over to Rolling Shield. Always makes the fight that much more epic, of course, between the platform. Alright, he's up. He gets a nasty pattern, having the right claw come over, and then a lightning just right after that. Just a few more hits, and that's going to be 36, 49, somewhere in that range for Lawso. So good job to both runners. And for Nero, as we go into round 2. I don't know if Lawso's EB is up to date on the leaderboards. I just checked it earlier. When is it again? 2. So he was pretty close to that. As well as Nero too, getting a late 32. It was like 32.53. Oh, 35.05. Okay. all right, my bad. Still a good run though. So it looks like Lawso is already reset here. I don't know if they're going to be taking a short break, but we should have one pretty soon here. All right, yep. Race is starting here in just a moment as they do the little menu dance here. And there they go. So this is round 2. We got one win for Nero as they both come into the intro stage once more. Hold right and match through the blue guys. Lawso gets a missile, Nero gets a machine gun. Whatever this second B gives for a pattern, they're both going to be just fine. Lawso picks up the health too as well. Nero gets another machine gun. For task cars as well, I'm wondering what Lawso's going to do here to get his damage boosts in, if he's going to go for the task cars or maybe damage boosts off the last car. Looks like they're both going for it. I feel like I've heard early on in my speedrunning of MMX that going for task cars in a race was never a good idea, but I see so many runners doing it now. Awesome. So I keep going for it too. It's like over that there, had a car go off screen, so you're gonna have to get one more car down here. Alright. Really, really good placement. Getting Vile to jump back once, hit the spark as he's walking forward to just grab you is always really cool. So Nero's going to teleport at 224 and 2. So as always is going to be Chill Penguin to get our dash boots. Making use of the slopes. Getting a little bit of extra speed and a little bit extra height. Interesting to note, doing Penguin first, well, just doing Penguin before Mammoth also changes Mammoth stage, so there's no lava or little flame pillars coming out of the ground or anything like that. With that. If the leg capsule wasn't in Penguin stage, I've been doing Penguin before Mammoth regardless. Nero having a good no-stop there. And the purple helicopter's on one swoop as he just keeps dashing through. Blasting through the snowballers. Nero having a really clean snowball section there. Boost strat. Taking a backwards D-boost there so you can get through the snowball and then shoot the last two. At the top. I don't think I've seen any slides on Nero's side yet. There's the first one, I think. Really good pattern. One more full charge hit. He's looking at a 48 kill. Again, reacting to Penguin can be kind of tricky. A very interesting fight to optimize. Go from Lawso there. And now they're both going to be going on to Quanger. Technical stages of the run, and the most vertical of all of them as well. And you can see that right away as we vertical section on Nero's side. potential damage boost. You're getting knocked up onto the platform. The second, I'm sorry, the third turtle there, taking the intentional damage boost into the ladder gap of these shots from the turtles. Real auto-scroller of the game. Also showing off a little bit that for some reason the spikes on the wall don't actually deal any damage. Just jump at them. Just jump again to kick. We're kind of just gonna knock back but not take any damage. Oh man, Nero heaven. Get out of here. Game as we come on this outside climb section is just to get rid of these ladder yadders. And then on this final climb, trying to get rid of some of these turrets to take their spot and continue climbing, as well as getting rid of a bit of lag. Nero going right into the dance. Winger always looking so confused as he just keeps trying to head. There's nothing there. But he keeps trying, you know. He might get you one of these times. All right, so that was 740, I think. What was that, Lawso? Somebody's little face was on X there for a moment. But anyway, cave. Really the only tricky section in Chameleon, since this level is also pretty straightforward. All rocks there. React to as the rocks come down is something you want to do. Can drop right in front of you, and you can kind of snipe them as they come down. But if they're just right above you, sometimes it's just that's the way it is, and you're gonna take a rock into the head. But on also side, since he's going for the safety strat here, after defeating this mini boss, there actually won't be any rocks in the cave. Typically what you'd see in the 100% route. Getting the capsule toe, run confirmed. Alright, so Nero takes care of Chameleon as Lawso's going through the swamp. And they're both going to be going on to Eagle after Chameleon. Only a couple is in the stage, which some runners opt to just not go for at all. Waiting just a small moment to do the climb right at the top. But you can also get a backwards kick a little bit earlier in the platform cycle. As well as here too, you can get a backwards kick on. Oh. Two things that don't save that much time, but at least super swaggy. And then we're on to the eagle fight. Stopped a minute there. Wondering if he was going to do more gusts. Does a bit more, and now he's onto the dives. Only see 3 dives on Nero's side. For the eagle heart. But maybe an extra. No, it didn't move. Oh, man. Just hoping for the Boeing 77747. Alright, Nero's into Mandrill. As I mentioned in the first race, the ice really helps out. As you can see, you can shoot the ice and hit the enemies as they come on screen to get all of the ricocheted ice particles inside of the blue guys. Than just shooting him with the normal ice and having him bounce off. Fortunately, Thunder Slimer liking to stick to the ceiling. Getting a ton of dives on Lawso's side. Classic eagle right here. And a hover at the end. But Mandrill stage is also one of those more technical ones that can look pretty impressive when done correctly. And then he's onto the Mandrill fight. And shooting another ice as he breaks out as well to get damage in. Hallway. Ice there to get through the flamingo enemies. We get Thunder Slimer here. Sticking to the ceiling so far. Now he's coming down. Down since we can match these Stinger Boomerang into him. Since the Storm Tornado does do quite a bit of damage for Slimer, it's faster if we can get him on the ground. His way through Mammoth. Taking advantage of these conveyors here to get a little bit of extra speed. As Lawso comes into the Mandrill fight and Nero into on Nero's side, getting the double hits with Storm Tornado. And like I mentioned before, Lawso using the ice. Using it as well as Mando just breaks out of him. Both having pretty clean fights there. Again with a little face. Who is that guy? He just comes in to do a little smile before X leaves the screen, and then nobody never knows. So now they're both going into Armadillo. Let's see if Lawso's gonna go for the booty again. He's going for it. Doesn't get a drop again. Man. See Nero going for that heart, as he did last run. Also going to be grabbing it here. In the game that takes the least amount of time to grab. So especially in a race setting, it's if you're going to go for any of them, that's the one you go for sure. And both carts there in the last section just to get rid of the birds. You get rid of the birds by the spawn triggers. So you can either just jump up and down on the cart, short hops either, because that can be kind of sketchy. But by jumping up and down, you're skipping the spawn triggers for the birds. So you can either do that or jump forward off the cart. So pleased with himself right before the teleport. I love it. Little smiley face. Going into Mammoth. So it may look like they're just about even. And that Nero has already fought in Mammoth and also has yet to do so. Alright, so in the Octo stage, here, 2 subs we can take down pretty quick with C-Sing and the last mini boss. You know, and then we're pretty much through the stage at that point. Reduction by jumping up onto that platform. Now, both runners did chop off the arms of Octopus last run, so let's see if they do it here as well. Looks like they are. That is to minimize some luck. Since with Octo's arms, he can do some swirlies, as well as shoot some fish missiles. It's basically just resorting to jumping up and down, jumping forward, and shooting his normal 3-shot missile. Only trade-off here being the boomerang only does 1 damage. So with that, Nero is onto the fortress. Also, 1 more Maverick to go. First run. After Eagle, you can basically place Mammoth anywhere in the run that you'd like. You can place them at the end because it's kind of a breather stage before the fortress stages, but it really doesn't matter all that much where you place them. And there's not really a whole lot of luck involved with Mammoth as well. Right, Nero having a quick skip here. As Lawso comes into the mammoth fight. Somehow, miraculously, X gets all of his health back. 0 sacrifice. Ready to take on Bile. And pretty quick fight from Nero there. Took a body hit from Bile. Contact damage from Bile does quite a bit, and without a heart, 2 damage, or two body hits will... Coming into the bouncy house section. Bouncy house sections in this game, let me tell you. I believe Nero got the leap. Let's see what Lawso does here. He's set up for it and he gets it. Nice. So Lawso a few more hearts than Nero did. So that's part of the reason why he's taking more hits here. You notice Nero before the skip section here, he tried to minimize the amount of hits he was taking. We have another supposed to lose fight as we enter the Vile sequence. Nero having a pretty straightforward fight here, being able to read Spider's pattern. Getting a few babies here and there, but not really much of an issue. Also getting stuck once, but other than that, pretty good Vile fight as well. Alright, Nero coming into Sigma 2. Cool. Now, if Nero gets really bad RNG, I don't think Lawso could catch up by much. It would take a bit more than just some bad RNG, I would think. And as I say that, Nero gets a pretty good pattern from Penguin at the start there, but now we're looking at slides. It's... Yeah, 3 is not bad. I think that was 3. This one. I'm also coming through this last little hallway. Get some health on the way as well. Also, it's pretty comfortable with reading spider patterns, so the health isn't really needed, but it does help a little bit because spider does do quite a bit of contact damage as well. Babies do too as well. Alright, and Nero onto the ring to fight. So what we don't want to see here is green eyes. Blue and red are good though. And we get a blue right off the bat. Ice shot as well. Shoots the left wall to get the ricochet hit. Each eyeball has 10 hit points. His weakness doing 3 damage. We still have 1 hit left that we have to do on each eye. So just starting off with the ice shot to get a quick hit in is a good way of speeding up the eyeballs. Interesting little sync here is they both teleport out. Sigma 1 and Sigma 2 respectively. And Nero lining himself up for a skip and bonked a little bit too far. Scrolled the screen up. A good time to explain why this skip works, really. So since the camera isn't panned up quite yet, and we can kind of shove ourselves into the door with the ice sled, on because his spawn trigger is actually the ceiling section there, and as long as it's panned up all the way, we can skip that. But as that was going on, Lawso was fighting Penguin. Cool. And as he was going through that hallway, I'm surprised I haven't mentioned in any of these races about the background lighting up. It's like one thing I always keep forgetting. Getting dives on Lawso's side. Plastic Eagle yet again. Nero cutting off the arms again. So he has pretty decent health. This stage is a lot of simple boss fights. Difficult one. Fight. But with that being said, damage throughout the stage is pretty important. Enough for D-Rex as well, in case something goes wrong. I know, Fatso, I know. But I mean, let's be real here. Most people who have played this game, one thing that they look at and like, oh wow, I really actually never noticed that before. Oh no, Lawso getting stuck up on the sled there. Looks like he's yep, there we go, that was lined up good. See if he's gonna say hi to Octo again. Oh yeah, of course. In. What's up, Dillo? Alright, so Nero is on to the final stage. And Lawso coming into the Mandrill fight. It looks like he took a bonk somewhere. I guess I wasn't paying attention. He might have bonked on Dillo maybe. Or just before Chameleon. And Nero from the dog. So he's going to be sitting pretty for the final fight here. Getting some invisible fish, it looks like, on Lawso's side. Well, at first, but then they like popped up somehow. See, Lawso opting out of using the boomerang cutter here this time around. Getting a whole ton of missiles though. You don't want to see the spin cycles, which waste a ton of time. Now left claw on Nero's side right away coming down. Patterns from the right claw there, but thankfully the left claw not shooting any lightning as they come over. I was going to take this one too with a 32, 28 or 29 look like. As he resets right away. So, coming into D-Rex. It looked like, as I was looking over on Nero's side, he went to go get the safety health on the top route. With Nero, he immediately resets, so now there's like no sound. It's just me. Yeah, he just passed out immediately, reset, and then boom. All right, also having a pretty clean fight there, and he will be going on to the final stage. Also having some sort of weird that Mario judging you in the background. Is this the true final boss? Delgard or Mario? Lawso takes a couple damage there, but since he has the armor, pretty good. And also, he never uses sub tank as well, so I don't remember if it's full or not. Some of the sub tank as well. Ooh, takes a hit from Jedi though on the way down. Health. All right, and on to the final fight. Wolf Sigma combo. Same pattern almost. And the left claw come down immediately. He's going to go for the sub. Every time he pauses, it's just the full Mario. So a couple more hits. And GG to Lawso. Nice run, 35-56. Runners, great races. So obviously he's going to be taking that. He still has to race Akitero in this group stage. That Lawso, I guess I can't really predict it yet, but after Nero's race with Aki, but Aki will definitely be going through to the bracket. Oh, I don't know where Nero went. Looks like he just reset. Now he's gone. I'm not sure, but you can ask Lawso to jump in here if you'd like. To me, what that face is, first of all. Yo, what's up, Lawso?
Hey, what's up?
So is that...
Shoutouts to Eugene Face.
Okay. It took me by surprise the first time I saw it. I was like, wait a minute. That doesn't seem right. But, oh, how'd you feel about those runs?
They were runs.
Yeah.
Of all the runs I've ever seen, they were certainly two of them.
Yeah.
Like,
fulfill the criteria of run.
That first, I was so tilted after the first one because, like, my computer, I guess, hiccuped, and the race will begin in 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Just popped up at the same time, which was 9 seconds after the race had started and my timer had started, because life split is cool.
I didn't really notice because I think the two streams got synced up with the timers, so
yeah,
kind of late start.
Like, obviously there was everything else went wrong, so like that didn't actually matter in the grand scheme of things, but it was annoying.
And there was the penguin death in the first run as well.
Yeah, like that, and then the penguin death, and I went for Fatso door. Like, I tried to soft lock in Chameleon stage just so I could like walk away for 30 minutes while Nero finished the race.
Hilarious.
I had the drop too. I almost got it. I was a little mad, a little upset about that.
Well, but either way, good second run. It was deathless.
Yeah. What was my time? 30. It was a 35. It's not awful.
Yeah, especially with getting the armor as well, because.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always going to get the armor because I don't care enough about any percent to actually get good at the end game. Like, there's so many things in the end game that I'm like, I should learn this. That's effort.
That's definitely the big barrier to this run, is the end game, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, if it's something you're not familiar with or feel comfortable with.
Yeah, like I run Hundo. Like, this is the first time that I've really run any percent NA like remotely seriously.
Yeah.
So, like my time dropped immensely. Like, my previous air quotes any percent PB was like a 39, and then I actually started getting the armor and completing runs, and I have like a 35.05 now.
Yeah, it's pretty decent too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something that is weird, switching over to any percent for a lot of people who may have joined this tournament as 100% runners, because in 100% you can take in the final fight and not really worry too much.
Yeah, and it's not even that. It's like I have to like relearn like the Maverick, or like the Fortress Maverick fights.
Oh, true. Too.
Where
Yeah,
it's
in
like
Street
I have
Fighter
to, yeah, where I have to learn Spider and like learn D-Rex. Like D-Rex is really stupid if you don't have armor.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I honestly get armor for D-Rex and the dog more than Final Sigma. Most of the time I can do Final Sigma without taking a hit. Unless he just decides to be a jerk like he's one to do.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Is like, to keep your cool on the final fight, you can play it safe and still be fine. But then there's that every once in a while that like the right claw is just gonna shove you into a spot at that point.
Yeah, no, it's those where it's you've got the right claw come over and it shoots lightning at the same time, and you're just like, I guess I die.
Yeah. Unless you like split second, like figure it out and dash off or something.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to react to for sure.
Yeah, I've had that happen once before I started getting the armor, where it was like I saw what was happening, I jumped down to the ground, and then before I could get back on the claw, he threw a flamethrower and it killed me.
So if it wasn't the other stuff,
yeah, I was like, it's just this run wasn't supposed to be. I guess that's how it is. But yeah, like I don't know. I'm a little disappointed I couldn't even take a game off of Nero, but I'm excited to go play something I'll probably enjoy more than any %.
Yeah, I mean Nero's playing pretty well too. I forget he had like a.
Can we just talk about like who did I anger at speed gaming? Like honestly, like who did I anger to get thrown into this group?
Yeah,
whatever I did, I'm sorry.
Who was the other runner that got dropped out?
It was only the three of us. Like we were the one group that got dropped to 3 people, and it's me, the world record holder, and the X2 world record holder, and I think he's got like a 31 after like 2 or 3 weeks of like going from hundo to any.
Right, aka God Gamer Nero.
Yeah, I was just like, okay, this is join the MMX tournament. It'll be fun, they said.
Yeah. Well, either way, you put on a good show, and that definitely would have been a hell of a step up to compete with them. So.
Yeah, I mean, I took a race off of Aki, and the other one was close. So.
Yeah.
We'll take it, I guess.
So, before we end it here, I don't actually know what's coming up next. I usually don't when I commentate. I always ask somebody what's coming up next. But did you have any final words?
Shout outs to Eugene Face.
Hell yeah. Zol and Mythical and everybody else for organizing this race, and Speed Gaming as well. With that, I guess we're going to get out of here. So thanks, Lawso.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
See ya.